Nissan has already started full production of the new 2018 Nissan Leaf at its Smyrna vehicle assembly plant. The first models are already rolling off the assembly line as it gets ready for its US dealer launch in the coming months. It's also being built in Japan, and at their UK plant in Sunderland. Nissan Smyrna has been the US home of the Leaf since 2013, and we are honored to continue to assemble the most popular electric vehicle in the world, said Heath Holtz, Vice President, Manufacturing, Nissan Smyrna Vehicle Assembly Plant. Nissan is excited about their next generation Leaf, but EV fans in the US don't have the same enthusiasm. The next generation Leaf was unveiled last week, features a 40% increase in driving range, 150 miles, a 37% increase in horsepower, gets advanced technologies and Nissan's new design language. But EV enthusiasts still aren't happy with the second generation all-electric Leaf. Nissan announced pricing on the new all-electric Leaf, and it's a good value compared with the outgoing model. When compared to the first generation Leaf, the 2018 Leaf S, $29,990, adds e-pedal and automatic emergency braking, essentially $4,500 of value, with an MSRP that's $690 lower. The 2018 Leaf SV, $32,490, adds intelligent cruise control, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and it's $1,700 less than the 2017 SV. The top-of-the-range 2018 Leaf SL, $36,200, adds both premium audio system, blind spot warning, rear cross-traffic alert, intelligent around-view monitor, and a portable L1 per liter 2 charging cord, and it's priced $590 lower than the 2017 SL. Even with the lower price and additional upgrades, EV critics are still blasting the new Leaf for not having enough range, and they say it needs more to be competitive. Nissan did announce they will bring out a new 2019 Leaf with greater range, 200 miles, and more power than the 2018 model, but US fans don't want to wait. It's going to be a three-way race for EV shouting rights. According to a study from Sustainable Enterprises Media, when EV buyers were asked, "What do you think your next EV model will be?" In Europe, the Tesla Model 3 was first, 33%, the Leaf was number 2, 19%, and the Renault Zoe was number 3, 7%. In the US, the Tesla Model 3 was number 1, 38%, the Chevy Bolt number 2, 15%, and the new Leaf was number 3, 13%. One US buyer says, "I think for many like myself, the Leaf will be my next car if not the Tesla Model 3. Nothing else compares in value and appeal for many of us." In Europe, EV enthusiasts like the new Leaf, and its new range of 150 miles is not an issue. They think it will sell well in markets like Asia and throughout Europe, and that's where Nissan knows it will likely sell a majority of the new generation 2018 models anyway. Nissan is counting on the new 2018 Leaf going over big in markets in Europe and Asia where driving distances are shorter, and having an increased range is not the main concern. In the US, they know the second generation Leaf may not sell in increased numbers until the 2019 model arrives with more range. The second generation Nissan Leaf will own a unique segment of the market, and represents both a significant upgrade for existing Leaf owners, and with its new styling and improved value, it will attract many first-time EV newcomers to the brand. The new 2018 Leaf may surprise EV enthusiasts in the US at how well it sells. Stay tuned. With the 2018 Nissan Leaf due to arrive at US dealers in 4 or 5 months, next year is shaping up to be a very interesting test of what buyers want in battery electric cars. Much of the focus has been on the new car's range rating, projected to be 150 miles combined when it's confirmed by the EPA. The new Leaf enters what car makers call white space in the market, a place where no other maker offers a vehicle. Today, with the exception of the tiny Smart Fortwo electric drive, most all-electric cars on the market for 2017 and 2018 offer 90 to 125 miles of range. Call them the short-range electric cars. That's up from 62 to 84 miles for the first round of mass-market cars, with Tesla coming in at the high end offering 200 miles or more for $65,000 or more. Then, last year, the 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV launched with a 238-mile range rating, and the Tesla Model 3 with ratings of 220 miles and 310 miles is expected to join it in mass production by the end of this year. Call them the long-range electric cars. A version of the Leaf with 200 miles or more of range will also join Nissan's lineup as a 2019 model, with a higher price and a more powerful motor. So now we have close to a dozen electric cars in the 90 to 125 mile group, and the Chevy Bolt EV plus the Model 3 at more than 200 miles for 2018, though Model 3 availability will likely be restricted to those buyers who put in their reservations a year or more ago. The 2018 Nissan Leaf, meanwhile, sits right in the middle, at 150 miles. So does the 2018 Leaf pioneer a new mid-range electric car category? A recent article on Medium suggests that Nissan has made a smart choice, and author Brian Ked says he's proud of Nissan for its unwillingness to play the ridiculous range game. There's no definitive answer to the question. Of course, the definition of what's enough range varies with each driver. Most drivers think they cover far more miles than they actually do, and it's been pointed out for years that an 84-mile range is adequate for more than 80% of all trips taken in the US. But sustained highway speeds, air conditioning use, and especially sub-freezing winter weather can subtract up to 40% of that rated range. And pretty much any buyer will shy away from a vehicle whose effective range is down to 50 miles. Several years ago, Green Car Reports published an article suggesting that while the 73-mile range rating of the 2011 and 2012 Leafs was clearly not enough for US buyers, a number like 140 or 150 miles might well be. It wasn't based on surveys or other data, just on conversations with people who knew very little or nothing about battery electric cars but were at least open to thinking about them as a possible purchase option. Fast forward 7 years, and here we are, with a new electric car coming on the market with exactly that range, and a very aggressive base price to boot, $30,875 including delivery. Over the next 2 years, the market will tell us whether the Bolt EV's extra 88 miles of range is worth the $6,800 price boost. Those prices are just the starting point, of course, with manufacturer discounts in federal, state, local, and corporate tax credits, rebates, and other incentives coming into play. But we should get some useful data to see how many Bolt EVs Chevrolet will sell now that it's on sale throughout the US, especially in light of Nissan's goal to double sales of the new Leaf over the old one. We note, however, that author Brian Ked says that while Nissan is back in his good graces, he's not giving up his Model 3 reservation just yet. The 2018 Nissan Leaf was never likely to be a scene stealer the way the Chevrolet Bolt was last year or the Tesla Model 3 is this year. After all, Nissan already had the show to itself when the first Leaf went on sale nearly 7 years ago. There was no Tesla Model S back in 2010, and its only significant competition was the Chevrolet Volt, which still used gasoline. Those days are gone, though. Nissan left the Leaf to ult a bit with a range of around 100 miles when Chevy and Tesla start to offer ranges with 200 plus miles, and now there are a number of other new EVs well past that 100-mile mark. Still, more than 113,000 Leafs have been sold in the US since it was launched, with more than 283,000 around the world. That's not exactly as many as Nissan may have hoped for, and they're being quiet on projections for this new one, but it's far from a drop in the EV bucket. Leaf is synonymous with electric car, and therefore this new one has a reputation to uphold. The 2018 Leaf's mission is to be different from other EVs by being strikingly normal, and that's a fine line it might be able to navigate. For a while, at least. At least the old Leaf's dumpy styling has been sharpened for 2018. Compared to Nissan's US lineup, the Leaf comes across as fresh and somewhat interesting. But some quick research into what the automaker offers in other countries revealed it has a similar profile to the Honda Civic-sized Pulsar hatchback that's offered in Europe. What's more disappointing, however, is that the interior looks and feels like your average new Nissan. Most buttons are lifted out of models such as the Rogue and Sentra, apart from the round shifter rocker that looks and feels like the mouse from a 20-year-old iMac. Where Chevrolet and, of course, Tesla have made the center touchscreen a dominant part of the interior, Nissan shows a 7-inch display that looks to be shared with basically every other car they make. And even their more mainstream cars, the display is starting to fall behind the pack. Apple CarPlay isn't standard on the base model and Android Auto isn't available at all yet. At least you can get a 360-degree camera on the top Leaf SL model. Nissan reverted to an analog speedometer because its research found customers prefer to see a physical dial at a glance rather than the digital numbers. That's fine, but the dial itself could have been ripped off of a rental Ultima, and it clashes badly with the LCD display next to it that shows all of the other vehicle status updates, such as range and battery life. It sort of sums up the entire interior, it gets the job done, nothing more. At least interior space is much improved. 4 adults can sit comfortably, and the rear seat has good headroom and a comfortable cushion. The driver sits a little bit higher than they would in a conventional hatchback, but shorter people might appreciate that, and it gives everyone who gets behind the wheel a good view out. Getting onto the freeway is not memorable anymore. The 2018 Leaf benefits from a 40% bump in power, with 147 horsepower and 236 pound-feet of torque, with a 40 kWh battery that the cars arriving early next year will all get. Nissan has already announced an upcoming 60 kWh battery that should offer more performance as well as a range greater than the EPA estimated 150 miles, and there are rumors of a more performance-oriented model. For now, though, the Leaf is fine to drive, rides smoothly, and is mostly quiet. But this isn't the fun-to-drive EV you might be seeking. The Leaf is also the first Nissan to get the ProPilot driver assistance technology that will, one day, allow Nissans to be self-driving. For now, it's primarily a device that keeps you in your lane and works with the adaptive cruise control to maintain a comfortable distance from the car in front of you. I'll go more in-depth with this technology in a separate piece, but the system on the Leaf I drove on a Las Vegas highway had issues with the lane markings, which may be attributed to the fact that this was one of the first Leafs built with this system, and the technology may be refined more before the first models are delivered early next year. What the Leaf should continue to do is ease worry consumers into EV ownership. Nissan invited a few loyal customers to Las Vegas, along with some of their most EV-centric dealers and some journalists, to see the new iteration. I sat in the back of a new Leaf with a woman from Nashville, whose husband was a devout Leafer. She immediately said it was roomier and heard the motor strain less as we merged onto the highway than the 2013 model her husband bought. Another Leaf couple told me they were the second in Virginia to get one. The new one, possibly the longer-range model coming next year, would make them an all-Leaf household. They were wary of what kind of Model 3 they might get for the same money and liked that the Leaf looked like, well, a Leaf. To these consumers, the price has to be right too. The 2018 Leaf S starts at $29,600 before $7,500 federal tax credit and other state and local incentives. Most consumers will likely go for the better-equipped SV or SL models. An SL with every option, including the two-tone white and black paint job, is $37,495, or just less than $30,000 with the tax credit. That's likely to give the Leaf a favorable 36-month lease offer, which is how most people get into an EV in the US. A loaded Leaf, therefore, will be in the ballpark of a basic Bolt or Model 3. Until that longer range, 60 kWh model arrives, the 2018 Leaf doesn't seem to target the Bolt or any Tesla. Its prime rivals will likely be the Hyundai Ioniq Electric and Volkswagen e-Golf, both of which are compact hatchbacks with about 125 miles of range. The Leaf's comfortably greater range and 50 state availability may be enough to sway potential buyers, even if both the Hyundai and the VW are significantly nicer to sit in and, to my eye, more attractive on the outside. The 2018 Leaf obviously caters first and foremost to current Leaf owners. It fixes mostly everything that was lacking in the old car without getting too different all of a sudden.